It's your girl, Donna LJ.
And it's your girl, Digga.
And you're tuned into Indie High Radio. Woo woo.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, everybody?
We are back with another episode.
Yes.
So happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all proud of us? Or no?
Okay, because it's a little, we stepping it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Stepping up just a little bit. So, yes, we have another great interview, and we're going to keep these great interviews coming for season 5, so be prepared for that. But, yes, we do have a lot of great things going on. As we always say, make sure you go to our one-stop shop,
Yes,
indiehighradio.com. Please subscribe on our YouTube,
yes.
which is just Indie High Radio, normal spelling, spaced out. We appreciate the support. We can only do better with your help. So thank you so much for your support.
You
you guys are so amazing. Thank you to Loose and Playback Sounds for the studios.
Big ups, yes.
Make sure to hit Playback Sounds for all your production needs.
Woo woo.
We have a great show here today. And I'm excited about our show for today because we're going to get into the future of pretty much the country, the world.
Right.
We're pretty much here, but we're going to get into the future of the tech world. And I'm so excited to go into the show today because that's my field. That's what I love to do.
Yeah, I'm excited to tap in as well.
Yes.
So go ahead and introduce yourself, sir, so the people can know and get to know you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're seeing this.
Right.
My name is Shaquille.
Whatever you got going on.
I'm a software engineer based out in New York City. I'm a digital nomad, so I go everywhere. But my home base is New York City.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm currently working for a dog food company. I'm not gonna say their name; they don't get a free drop. But yeah, so I'm not working for them. I'm working on myself. Enjoying life.
Period.
I love that.
I love it.
I love that.
But that's the beauty of tech.
Yes.
You can be wherever, go wherever, and still, tap into your talents and tap into the tech world. So, and I know it's a ever growing. It's never gonna stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's never gonna stop because tech is always here to stay. What made you get into tech? How did you tap into that?
So back in the days when we actually did the keyboard typing classes and stuff.
Oh man, don't let them know how old we are.
Yeah, they don't even care about that.
Hold on.
It doesn't make sense. They went backwards. But I don't know, since I was young, I always enjoyed computers. I always wanted to know how they work. Like, the big back Macs with the different colors.
Oh yeah.
Like playing different games on that, seeing what the teachers are doing, like getting into their passwords, just figuring out how they know what they do. Just mess with things. I was always interested into it. So I don't know, tech always spoke to me. So it was something I've always wanted to get into, but it was a lot harder.
Oh, for sure.
Back then, because it wasn't as easy as it is.
Right, not as a lot of advanced features. Right.
Let's go back to MySpace where we had to
Black Planet.
Ooh,
that was some real coding.
Ooh-wee.
That's when you had to know how to code to network.
Code in order
and
to
we were like 10, 11
page.
years old trying to
Figure it out.
Okay, but yes, I love that because it's just like, like I said, our generation, we did have to do so much of that back then involuntarily. It wasn't like we wanted to get on there and have to do all that, but it just, technology wasn't as advanced then.
Right.
Like now it's like everything is, all the hard work is done. You get to just choose what preferences you like. So that's
templates are made for you.
Right?
So,
to just choose from to make it easier.
We didn't have that privilege.
Yeah, what is it? The MySpace and the Tumblr.
Yes, Tumblr.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about that. Tumblr. Ooh, that used to be my.
You had to create everything yourself.
Okay. Well, I had made a song for my MySpace page.
Oh, absolutely.
My whole little. You have entered Donna's MySpace page. I have a little harmonies in there. It was crazy. But anyway. Back to the point.
If you know Donna, you know that's absolutely true.
It's very much true. But with that being said, I know even for me, I would say growing up, even with doing all the social media and coding and stuff, in my mind, when I would think of engineering and software engineering and those types of things, to me it just seemed like such a far-fetched, unrealistic goal career-wise for me, just because it was just so unfamiliar. I'm good at talking, I'm not shy, I'm good at this and that, but it was I loved computers, I loved that, but it was just that was just like, for that as a career, just so far-fetched. Right. So for you, you know, growing up in this day and age and, you know, wanting to go into it, how were you able to kind of take that want and make it a reality? Like, did you like major in it at school, or did you major in something else and then did it afterwards, or how did that come about?
Okay, so I did a lot of looping around.
I love it.
Because I was into production, photography, you know, videography.
Come on, creative. But, okay.
Yeah, I was creative by nature, so I was like, but I wanted something I didn't need to rely on people.
Right.
Getting into music production, video, you need people.
Other people, right.
Coding, not so much. So I was like, I could
mess around.
I could take down a website, see how they do their things, and just poke around and see. So there was, what was it? YouTube came around 2005. So. Damn.
Oh wow! Really?
So close to the
yeah. So 2005. You know, going online looking for things. Reading books. I think when I started getting into it, like JavaScript was terrible. It's
JavaScript
a lot better now, but you can curse here?
Yes. You know what's so funny? Every single guest we have on asks. The last guest we had on a couple weeks ago, they're like, Can I curse? And they're like, yes, free country. Go ahead.
Oh, just check, you know.
Just talk.
Well, yeah,
I put explicit for all our audio. You're good.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. JavaScript was ass. It was terrible back then. You had Flash. I don't know if you remember those Flash games. Getting into it is very difficult. You had to get different software called like Dreamweaver. You had a.
Oh, I remember Dreamweaver. Oh my goodness.
You had to do a lot of jumping through hoops, but over time I just figured it out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start from the basis. You need HTML, you need CSS. You can figure it out. There's a book for it. You can find, you know, LimeWires and things. I could download stuff.
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Yeah, dropping all the old stuff.
Good God.
What was it? When I was in middle school and high school, I had teachers that actually listened. So they'll put me on. They'll give
kind of help you out a little bit. That's good.
Stuff. So a lot of conversation around that. It was just looking at the web technology stuff and then going with JavaScript, learning different frameworks. And then, let's see, I went to school for it. While in school, I realized, damn, I'm not as smart as I think I am. Like, I don't know, I went to this one class. It wasn't even a class. I went to a club. And I just sat back there, and they were
going at it.
Saying shit.
The verbiage is wild.
Yeah.
It's like another language.
It really is.
It really is. Yeah, of course. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? Right. But yeah, I was like, okay, that was intimidating, but I know exactly what to do, what course to take. Realize there's certain languages I don't like, some I do like. And then I was like, no, I can figure this out on my own. Why am I paying $50,000 for this? And yeah, I didn't like my professors anyway, so I'm like, I'll figure this out on my own. I knew enough to
kind of
do
maneuver
something.
After
so
that, yeah.
Went on Indeed. I found some internships. It was basically slavery, but I found some internships that were for free. But I negotiated that they'll pay for my travel because it was in New Jersey, so I would go there every single day. They gave me $150 a stipend just for the travel, not even for food, but whatever. I was able to work on an actual website, so that was enough insight.
Right.
Learn some new technologies like Python, and it's like, oh, okay, they work together. Cool. Oh, I don't need to just know this one thing.
Right.
All right. Let me just work on my own projects using the technologies that they use. There's somebody there that I can speak to. There's a lot of networking. That's the best way to put it. A lot of networking, trying to figure out.
That's the tech world.
Yeah.
You gotta. Sometimes you do have to teach yourself. You know.
Yeah.
It's better coming from, I guess, your own way of learning versus sitting there and listening to someone else.
Yep.
So that's completely understandable.
And then, you know, I went out doing a lot on my own. Watching a lot of tutorials, buying books, sitting in Barnes & Noble.
Doing your own research.
I love that, but let's speak about that because that's important. And this is the thing, like, even if, you know, you're not a techie, it's still important to just know some basic things because regardless, that's where we're headed. Like, we're heading into really an AI world where that's, you can really speak anything you want into existence. Like, hey, what is this? I need you to plan this whole thing out for me, like ChatGPT and all that stuff. We're kind of
digital.
Yeah, everything is digital. So it's good to just, and that's why I wanted to speak back on also just being intimidated by that world, outside looking in, but then how you were able to, that's why I said I wanted to pause there, because go learn. You know what I mean? Like, go to the library, go, like you said, Barnes and Nobles, like, do what you can that's free. On your own. That all it takes is just sacrificing a little time and consistency, but you can literally, advance yourself, and you don't have to, anything that intimidates you, go learn about it. That way you're breaking that fear, you're breaking that intimidation, and then you can feel confident about it. I always tell myself, don't complain about anything unless you have a plan of action to change it. That's my rule to myself. So I like that you took initiative and you said, you know what, I'm going to learn this on my own. Like, I see how they're doing this, but let me see what else I can do right here. So I love that. So when you got, like, say, your first good paying gig, what was that like compared to, like, all the things you went through, especially the things you did on your own? And you said, like, the slavery internship.
Honestly, it was a lot. It was very different. Not even just the pay aspect. It was like, it was just the process, the people. Because I feel, because like before even getting a job, I would, you said it's all about sacrifices. I stopped playing games. Like, I will not play a game until I get into my field. So it took 5 years. I don't play games anymore. It's like, so it's like, just the thought process, what I want to learn, how I did things. Now I have to listen to somebody tell me to learn and tell me how to do things. But I don't know, it's just, my first job wasn't really the best.
No, that's what I'm saying, for good paying now, or decent paying.
It paid, but it wasn't.
The experience was
it wasn't really like no shots at the manager. I'm thankful that I got the opportunity, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't feel like I necessarily would grow. Like, if you don't grow unless you feel uncomfortable. But I didn't feel uncomfortable because I didn't know what I was doing. I felt a little uncomfortable because I felt I was doing it right, and they're telling me to do it the wrong way. So I'm just like,
okay.
I'm not trying to be arrogant, but just read the documents. And the documents weren't saying what they were saying to me. So
wasn't matching up.
I don't know. This ain't it.
And then they probably didn't want to hear nothing, from you being the new guy.
I'm the under. So it's like, you know what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever, just pay me.
Right.
I don't care.
I'll just do what you ask at this point.
Pretty much. And then, COVID came around, so I was out the door. Got the boot, but I didn't mind. That was a good experience. It made me realize that I'm actually on the right path. I can just keep pushing forward, doing my own thing until I get that, big break. And it always come around. Once you got somebody's name on the resume, like, you're gonna get a job.
You're golden.
You're
golden after that.
Pretty much all I needed.
So we talked about traveling with tech. So I know we discussed you being in Germany and going all these other places. Please explain, like, lay it out for us. Like, how can someone get into tech and be able to travel the world?
Okay, so the job I currently work for, no name, but it's a dog food company. Very good, very, very good company. I really appreciate it, because after COVID, or everyone's coming out of COVID, they decided to go fully remote. So,
beautiful.
Very beautiful. So it's like, there's no office. No one's expecting me to be somewhere. So I can work on not my own time. Like, you still need to speak to people between a certain time.
Meetings and
but I can work on my own time when I feel like it. So there's not too much like rules around where you necessarily have to be. As long as you're in the country doing your work, you're fine. But I know I like to move around and take my computer. I go out in nature, just different cities, in Atlanta right now. Like, just get a different vibe. I feel I do the most work. I get the most out of my work, and they're not mad about it because I'm very productive. Yeah.
Right.
So they actually welcome it. Like, go wherever you want to go. Just get the work done. Like, we're not going to micromanage you, because you do what you have to do. So you're getting into this field. If you can get a remote job, I recommend you do.
All right.
If you
Get
do
that
get
remote
a
job.
remote job, it has a lot of benefits. Like you can legitimately move around. You can work in other countries, work for other countries.
Wow.
There's a lot of jobs where there's like global forces where you live in America but you work for a German company or
Wow.
a French company. Like actually, my first experience with tech in itself was when I was out in Barbados. Like I went to a part of Barbados. I'm from there. I've never been to this part of Barbados before. I'm just like, this is nice. I went out with a friend. They took me to this penthouse. I'm like, this is really nice. Like,
Wow.
what the hell do you do?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, he's a software engineer for France. I was like,
oh wow.
Okay. This is what I'm doing. Like, this is exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, seeing that pushed me on the course where I need to go by any means necessary.
Okay.
I was getting into this field.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I love that determination.
I know.
But I love that. To me, like, I feel like that is just being able to have just that flexibility on the back end. Like, hey, I'm going to do my work, but I'm going to also make sure I enjoy my life. I think that's so important for mental health to have that kind of, that's just to balance it out. Because, you know, when you're in the tech, you're doing hard work. Like, it could be literally be like one wrong line of code and like
just mess up everything.
The whole thing crashes and, you know, you have an app outage and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, it's really that simple. But like I said, it is rewarding when you're at a job that you enjoy and love.
Yeah.
And you're confident in what you're doing. And you're being able to travel and live it up.
Right.
I know that's super good. So as far as like your support system, as far as like your family and things like that, did they play a role in your success?
No, I was stressing my mom out. Yeah, I was stressing her out because I went to $50,000 a year school, so a lot of debt, so much debt, and she's just looking at me like I'm crazy because I'd rather go work at Red Lobster than go work in like a government job because they're like, oh, government job, you can make your way up. Why will you not do that? I'm like, I'd rather work at Red Lobster because that's gonna give me a shift that's only 4 hours.
And I can work.
I can work on my projects when I'm down. Like, I don't mind. I can still pay my bills. So they didn't have the most. They had confidence in me because they know I'm determined. But money gotta flow.
You know how old school get down.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so I'm just like, just trust me. I got this. Like I got this. And here we are. Like,
I was just about to say.
And I get traveling all around. He literally just got to Atlanta from Barbados, like literally living it up, traveling around. I love it. And do you feel like it's, and like you said, networking is very important? Like even how we connected was through like a mutual friend. Shout out to Portia. But yes, like how important is it just to like, especially in the tech world, to kind of build that network?
Very important. Very important. I mean, there's a lot of times where I work on my projects by myself, but I don't know if you ever like heard of this app called Meetup.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you can meet people doing the exact same thing that you're doing
and kind of consult. Like if you're having run into a brick wall or something, you can consult with them. Yeah,
you can go to one of the classes. They got things related to specifically what you're doing. Like in New York, there's a meet. I haven't been to it in a while because. Sorry, guys, I don't need to be there, but I haven't been to it in a while. But when I used to go, there's other people that's using the same tech that I'm using, so we can talk about our projects. What are you doing? How did you solve this problem? There's online forums, so there's like Stack Overflow, Reddit. Like Reddit is toxic, but you can get a lot of information.
Because some of them comments
they'd be wild.
Like, girl, what are you talking about?
But yeah, there's so many online communities. Like I think it's called Dev Dots. I don't think it's TO, but if you go on Google, just search like Dev communities.
Dev communities, okay.
There's so many out there. So a lot of people are arrogant. You can meet that regardless. Some people that think they're on the high horse, so they're the best of the best. I'm like, whatever. Like, you will find the answer. Like, honestly, you're just gonna learn how to Google, and then you just meet someone someone is always gonna have the same problem you've had.
Okay.
So, get your Googling skills up. You're gonna find somebody you can actually communicate with. You can send them an email. Someone's gonna respond. Like, it's very welcoming because it's about learning. So, you're gonna meet people that want you to learn. Like even for me, anybody that wants to learn, I would gladly take my time and show you the resources and.
You see
I want to learn. He's gonna teach me.
Got you. Like I'll show you exactly what you need to take. The path that I took, make it a lot easier for you, so that way you can get there faster.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how important is that? To give back. And, I was at this tech conference, this Black Tech Conference, and that was one of the key things they talked about. Like a lot of the keynote speakers who are like multimillionaires and doing it big, the main thing they said, none of this matters unless you give back.
Yeah.
Unless you help the next generation, unless you make it easier for them. Right. So they don't have to go through those crazy obstacles, you went through. Like they're like, that's the other side of this. Is what you're doing is not even important unless you're doing that, because that's the only way more Black people will be in the tech field is if we reach that hand back out to help each other, move forward in that. How do you think, especially with AI kind of taking over, like we were talking about, what is a good way for people who just literally I don't know about tech, I don't even know where to start, but even if they're not even interested, but they're just I don't want to feel silly when someone's talking about it. What are just get
some little understanding about it?
Yeah, what advice would you give them to just kind of tap in? It's worth it, to let them know it's worth it to tap in.
Just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're gonna have conversations with people that they're saying things you don't know. I've had conversation with my managers. I'm just like, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. It's like, I'm doing the same job that you're doing, but you're on a different level than I am. So it's but I'm willing to learn. So whatever you hear that's just something you never spoke about, just ask. What is that?
Yes,
what does that mean?
I love major. That. Just ask.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, no one's. You're gonna meet a dickhead.
Of course.
Every field has dickheads.
Absolutely.
But you're gonna genuinely find someone that wants you to learn. Right. So they're gonna be like, "Oh, check this out," or they're gonna give you a form that you could check out the books. Maybe you should read this roadmap and figure this out. Or the way my manager would do it, if I mess something up, I'm gonna have to teach the whole team how to use this thing. Okay. So that way you can't mess it up again.
That's a good teacher.
Low-key, high-key, yeah. Okay.
Now so firing someone is not gonna help you. Exactly. Failure is a part of the journey. You're not gonna know everything. You're gonna stumble. You're gonna screw up. But once you do it once, you're not gonna do it again. Failure is a part of the game in life, honestly.
I love that, and that is beautiful life advice too. Hey. How can we grow if we don't know where we messed up?
And you can fail as many times and still get back up. And,
yeah.
Just keep going. As long as you don't give up, you didn't.
There you go.
You didn't lose.
Yeah. Failure is not an option. Do not give up. That's another one of my life rules. Failure is not an option. So that way, that eliminates any of that. Exactly. Failure is not an option. Keep it going. Keep moving. Keep pushing. Get back up.
Going.
I love that so much. It's so much to explore in the tech world, and we're so grateful and humble.
We all tapping in.
Tapping in and coming in. And with that being said, I know the beauty of it, once you do get those credentials, once you do know what you're doing, now you're able to do freelance and side projects. And make your money,
make your own money
on the side. Do what you do, even if you do have a big job, you can still do that. Can you speak on the perks of those side projects?
So I personally don't really work for money. It's more of everything I do for my own knowledge. So I want to just be the best engineer as I can be. So even though my hobby is coding, so work, I code. When I'm done work, I code. So it makes me happy.
Regardless,
so,
practice makes perfect.
Legit.
I love that.
You learn new things, you practice new things, and it actually helps you in your career because you're always. It's a career where you're always learning. So you're always learning. You can take what you learn, you can make the code for your job better.
Right.
That gets you a promotion. It's you know what you're talking about. Move on up. If you do want to go the route where you make the money, you go on Fiverr, you can go on all these different Upwork. I think Upwork is one, and you can sell your services. You can, how to do something that other people don't, even if like I don't know, I feel like I'd be cheating people if I do things the simple way. I rather build things from scratch because it keeps my mind flowing. But there's many times I just tell people, look, just go on Squarespace. Like
just go on Squarespace.
I would be robbing you blind. Just go on Squarespace.
Just go to Squarespace, like, use a template, and call it a day.
Because that is what people do.
I mean, it's the easy way. I mean, it's not. I guess it's the easy way, but it's still a legit way of creating, you know, a website or things like that. But you know,
yeah. But if you're interested, you can take the hard way, which I prefer to do because you're always learning different ways. It helps you move on up. And if you want to be that person, you can literally do the exact same thing that Squarespace doing. Make a template, charge someone $1,000 for it. Like easy money.
There you have it, folks.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Okay. So I love that. I love that so much. And how can like people check you out? How can people do you take, because like I said, I'm already volunteering myself as a mentoree. So and I know, like I said, he's a world traveler. So I know your schedule is booked and busy. We actually planned this podcast like months in advance because of his schedule. Okay. So he's definitely booked and busy, right? But yeah, so how can people check you out and
follow you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a tech portfolio. I haven't updated it in a little while, but it's at kappalucky.dev. So that's KAPPALUCKY.dev.
Okay.
It's a fun little project. I mean, I want to update it. I want to add a blog to it. So eventually,
that's a good idea.
I love it.
A lot of other things I'm working on, but social media. That's Instagram at how's this? Don the Menace. That's DON_THE_menace MENACE. So it's very simple. Yeah, Don the Menace. I don't really do anything else. I have LinkedIn. You could look for Shaquille John. I think my LinkedIn URL is also Kappalucky. If you search Kappalucky, you're probably gonna find me. It's a very unique name.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all my other little life. If you could get to the portfolio or just my Instagram, you're gonna find everything else.
Love it.
Love it.
And Tay,
what is Zoo?
How can people find us?
Well, you can follow us on Instagram, Indie High Radio. Radio spelled R8DIO. And Facebook, Indie High Radio LLC, like the page. And of course, the one-stop shop, IndieHighRadio.com. You can follow us. Make sure to follow us on all and subscribe on all podcast platforms. And of course, our YouTube, Indie High Radio, spelled the normal way, Indie High Radio. Help us get our subscribers up, and leave us a good rating on those podcast apps. So
and we thank you guys for the 5-star ratings we have now, all because of you guys and your support.
Keep it up. Let's keep it up.
And thank you so much. Like I said, we can only grow with you. So always please tell a friend to tell a friend. Yes. And we'll keep bringing you great episodes. Shaquille, it was such a pleasure to have you on it. And just thank you for being a Black person who takes initiative, and being a Black man especially, who takes initiative and who does what he has to do, because you are a shining example for all the young men who are coming up after you. And, you know, I'm honored that I was able to meet you in person, talk with you. And I look forward to learning a lot from you. But just thank you for your time, your energy, your presence. Keep doing what you're doing. I know you're working on some great, dope projects. Once they're done, because we already talked about it a little bit before the show. Once they're done, please come back on the show so we can help support it. And maybe do a launch for the apps and stuff that you're working on and the projects you're working on.
That would be super dope.
That would be cool. Yes.
That's what we do. This is what we do. This is what we specialize in. So please come back as soon as those projects are done, and just know you always have a platform and a home here at Indie High Radio. Okay.
Yes,
thank you.
Thanks again. This was an amazing show. Very informative. Very I would say encouraging, inspiring for sure.
Black people get in tech. Let's go.
Okay, don't be scared. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to fail, but don't be scared. We got this.
Don't give up.
Don't give up, period. All right? Failure is not an option. This is your girl, Donna LJ, signing out.
And it's your girl, Digga.
Woo, woo.
This is nice.